Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again. Here we are on the Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Going to roll over to Mount Pleasant and talk to my good friend of the Mount Pleasant Eagles head coach, or the Tigers. Which one is it?
Tigers. We play the
Tigers, my
Eagles this
gosh,
week.
yeah. You're playing the Eagles, I think. That's who it
Yep.
is. You're playing the Eagles. The Tigers of Mount Pleasant. How you doing tonight, Coach? Coach Kid Hartsfield.
Doing well, Stuart. Thanks for having me on. Good to talk to you again.
Well, it's been a while since I talked to you. Man, you played Richland and those guys, and man, that was a tough game. Come away with a loss, 42-0. Take me through it.
Yeah, going back to the week before, we had a really tough game versus Columbia Central, who's doing really well in 5A and in county game, and played really well and put a lot of emotion in that, and then turned around and played Richland, and who was hot coming into the game. They just beat up on two teams, and Stork. It was one of those nights where anything that could happen happened. I think they basically scored on the. We got stopped on the 4th and short first drive. Went down the field and got stopped, so we was feeling pretty good about moving the ball, and then they went about 12 plays and scored, and then it was basically we punted, and on a really weird play it bounced backwards 20 yards maybe, and the coverage had outrun the punt, and they had a random kid pick it up and run it in for a touchdown. And
Wow.
And then we fumbled the next play, gave him the ball on the 20.
You was nice
and
to
then
him.
threw a pick six the next play. So
Oh, wow,
bang,
you was
bang,
double
bang,
nice.
nothing. Yeah, before you could blink, Stork. It was pretty rough. Give credit to them, and but we went into fall break now, and this past week was able to kind of regroup and get healthy, and have had some life about us at practice this week, so it was much needed.
Now you've led these guys through 5, 6 games and everything, had them on the field and everything. What's the biggest change so far, Kit, you've seen from that first Friday night you got them out there? I mean, what are some of the things you can say? Well, we started here and we're not doing that no more. We do it this way. And then we started over here, and I found out we were here, and I changed that real quick. We can't do that. What are some of those nuggets you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a coaching standpoint, you just got to be very adaptable to the situation, because anytime a kid goes down or you get an injury, their real backup is a freshman.
Wow.
And, you don't really want to stick a freshman in the game, just being 2A ball. We've got stuck in some of those situations like versus Richland with 3 or 4 on the field starting on defense at a time. And, you got to move people around even out of position just to make sure, you have your best 11. I'm really confident in our freshmen coming up, but everybody knows you don't want to have to play freshmen on varsity football. That's no secret. And, we got JV and developmental time for that. So just having to be adaptable and adjust. We kind of had trouble getting rhythm, on offense, with some guys out, a different piece here or there. And, I think it's real important for us to just get healthy and have a fuller deck of cards as we could possibly have at this point. So we feel pretty good about that, being able to have some continuity going into practice this week for the first time it feels like in a while.
Do you feel like your adversity level's a lot better than where you were when you started with them?
Yeah, I mean, we've been through adversity to the fullest, starting with 7-on-7s. We played tough competition and, always handled it well. And I'm proud of the kids for, not quitting. We always fight till the end. And, typically, in the beginning, it took us to about halftime to where we could sit down and kind of, if things were going bad, to regroup. And, we've definitely been able to do that at halftime. We need to be able to do that sooner, like between possessions, or by the end of the quarter, respond to adversity and not let it affect us for a whole quarter. But we've been able to regroup. We haven't quit and haven't fallen apart by any means. And, we're not getting dumb penalties or anything like that. So I'm happy about that. We just got to execute better. That's really what it boils down to.
Well, and it'll come, and I mean it's just the only thing is you don't have many left, and the next one up they're going to be ready for you, and that's Eagles of Summertown and Dakota Cruz. What do you know about these guys?
Oh yeah, great, doing a great job this year. Coach Cruz is a really great guy, and they got a senior led team at the skill position. Really big quarterback. 6'4", 6'5", 215-pound quarterback, and a really good dynamic tailback and wide receiver, and all are upperclassmen. So you can tell they're kind of hitting their stride and in rhythm. And it's 15 minutes down the road. It's a rivalry game. I know it went down to the wire a year ago, I believe, and there's a lot on the line. There's the playoffs in our district is still really wide open. But you learn a lot after this game and where you sit, and if you win, you kind of put yourself in really good position, and if you lose, it's going to be tough. So, there's a lot on the line with the game, and they're a really good scrappy bunch. So it'll be a tough test for us, and hopefully we'll be able to give them a good shot.
You're excited about playing this one, I can tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can tell by your conversation. Yeah, I can tell. You. I mean, and maybe you was a little drained as far as trying to get into the rhythm, because you have to be into football to teach football, the weightlifting and all that, and the preparation. I mean, those guys kind of got to do that on their own. You can coach them, but you can't make a guy lift weights. You can't make a guy work on his foot speed, his get-off drills, all that. You can't make them. They got to do that on their own. And then but you've had it's been a long season for you, just trying to keep everybody, like you said, because of the limited numbers you have, and like you said, trying to substitute and get another guy in to play.
Yeah, and it's a grind. That. Finally broke past the heat of the season, luckily, and just I feel like fall break is something that just hits at the right time, and gives you a chance, if you don't have a game that week, to really get healthy and just get mentally refreshed. Even if you're physically healthy, to have some days off there has been huge for me in the past, at least, and I hope hopefully that continues. As I move on, down here after fall break, and you see it everywhere. I know you watched. Oakland, go back to back with some games, and they started slow getting CPA. And kind of got woke up and then got going. So, I think just getting mentally refreshed is huge for the team.
Well, you're the guy that taught you. He told me he's been fortunate enough over the last 30 years to play 15 games every year, and been fortunate enough to be there and go all the way to the big one.
Yep.
So he said that the break came at the right time for him too. So you know who I'm talking about. But how much of a break you really think he took?
Yeah, he in the past, I think we did 3 days of practice, and they weren't long. He was always pretty smart about it.
He is
pretty smart about a lot of things. So, I don't know now. I'm sure he's changed a little bit, and probably give him a little bit more time.
They say when it gets down to playoffs. They say when it gets down to playoffs, them practices are hour and 20 minutes. I mean, they get done what they need to get done, and they're out of there. I mean, they're geared up about playing Friday night. I mean, and he knows the road, doesn't he?
Yep, and I was just talking about it with some of my coaches earlier about Thursday practices, and I remember playing for him, and you just walked, and I'm sure that's what they still do. He makes sure you're fresh. I mean, you weren't allowed to break a walk.
Wow.
Even running plays, and it was all mental, focus and preparation, and getting the feet back under you.
Wow, and I'm sure you still use a little of that. I mean, because if it worked for somebody else and they win rings with it, then you know what? We need to patent it and get it out and use it on our team. I mean, that's just and if it's quiet and you don't have a whole lot of noise and you get your work done and you get the delivery, because the delivery to kids is real important. And you know that. I mean, sometimes even as you being a young head coach that you've been here in the 5-6 years you've been running it, I mean, even you try something, you say, man, I would have thought that would have worked. I really thought that would have gotten them up, and then you say that didn't do anything.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the trial.
Yeah,
the trial and error. And then you find something out that's so silly that they just get so all excited about and bent, and you're like, man, that didn't cost nothing. We wish I'd known that 2 years ago. We'd been doing this all the time. It's kind of like that when you hit that hot button of whatever the kids are excited about that gets them revved up to play. I mean, every coach is looking for it.
Yep, no doubt. And I mean, it fluctuates sometimes year to year. Each group is kind of prepares a different way, and I didn't know people prepared any different way until I got to college, and it was odd, needless to say, seeing kids from different programs, and it's just figuring out your team and what gets them to go. Hopefully, we're going to do that.
Coach, we wish you the best of luck against Summertown. I hope you come away with a win. We'll talk to you next week on Inside the Headset.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you. Bye.